Yo, what is good? What is good? Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Tyrus Bane, aka the definition, aka Snapdealer Gorilla. Welcome to Freedom's March, all my freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters, and freedom lovers. It is Thursday, November 7th, 2024. And yeah, I'm on the road, you know what I mean? Somebody in the building, I can't really read that. 2020 was good. Thank you guys for coming through. Please hit the like button. I just wanted to touch on this real quick. Cameron Harden was good. Thank you guys for hitting the like button on your way in, man. I'm really excited to talk about this today, man, because of course the election results came in on the 5th, and so I had a couple days to process all the things, y'all, and whatnot. And it's been a wild ride, right? It's been a wild ride. It's been interesting trying to figure out what the results would bring about. And one thing I noticed, right off the bat, with a lot of the responses and how people are reacting to the news, it's like where were y'all at during 2016 through 2020? A lot of people are acting like Trump wasn't president before. Do they realize that Trump was already president? And everything that they feared President Trump would do during those 4 years did not happen. So what changed about this time? Like, it's like real shit. And let me tell y'all, the world of TikTok is a crazy world. If you go to TikTok, you'll see all these videos. You'll see all the reactions, all the screaming in the pillows and all this, that, and the third that everybody is playing. I mean, you can't get away from it. But it's like, what happened? It's like it went from Bernstein Bears to Berenstain Bears. Y'all get what I'm saying? Was there some type of Mandela effect that occurred? Is this the first time Trump became president? I don't understand why everybody is so emotional about this. Like, and this is my problem. This is my problem with statism. This is my problem with everyone's faith in this system. The world is over because Trump became president. That's what you would believe by watching these people in these TikToks. And not even just TikTok. When I go to Facebook, on my Facebook page, I see people, oh, they're so sad. Oh, the world is going to end. All the racist white folks are going to come kill everybody. And I'm like, y'all, what we doing? What are we doing? Really? This is what y'all talking about right now? I thought they understood that Trump was president before, right? And so that's kind of what blew my mind initially. Now, as far as everything else, from the Republicans, of course they're happy, right? They're happy, they're this, they're that. Oh, they think they won the world and all this other shit. They think that the next 4 years are going to be the best 4 years they've ever experienced. And, as far as it goes, how this cycle works, right? When you have these cycles of who runs the country based on who's president, people are satisfied based on who they love, and based on who they admire, based on who they fan over, right? So a lot of people are fanatics of Donald Trump, right? A lot of Republicans, a lot of white men, a lot of white women, a lot of black men, a lot of black women, more than y'all think. And this is what I was telling people, right? I was telling people, if you look at the map, right? If you look at the map of the voting shit, and you see all this red all over the place, I said a lot of people that voted for Trump will never tell you they voted for Trump. They're going to act like they hate Trump. But in reality, they couldn't wait for Trump to become president. If you just, and that's common sense. Common sense tells me that. And it's wild that when you see these reactions of people, these triggered people, it's like everything looks scripted to me. This shit looks scripted. Have y'all noticed that? These people, and here's the biggest thing that tipped me off. My boy Jay with Open Eyes might agree with this one. That all this is, all the reactions, all the screaming, all the hooping and hollering, it seems extremely histrionic, right? If y'all histrionic, y'all know what that means. That means like being dramatic, being theatrical, right? Very dramatic, very theatrical. But here is one that really got me thinking. I want y'all to really look at this. There was a fat guy that had on a white dude's for Kamala or some shit. He had a shirt on. It was a fat, real big fat dude, fat white dude that had on a white men for Trump or a white men for Kamala shirt. He got real upset, seemingly. He got real upset and tore his shirt. Now, I wear cotton shirts. Sometimes I wear blended shirts, depends. I try to stick with the cotton shirt. I have cotton shirts that are 20 years old. Cotton, just white t-shirts, plain white t-shirts. I have a big ass white V-neck tee that I wear to bed, you know what I'm saying, when I'm at the house or whatever. And no matter how hard I try, I could not tear it, right? I would not be able to tear it like this dude easily tore that shirt. This motherfucker had this shirt on. He wore a tear away shirt and did this video. I was like, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way he tore that shirt that easily. And it's a white dude for Kamala shirt, right? So it can't be no more than a few months old. He hasn't worn it that many times. How many times has he washed that motherfucker? Are you telling me that these shirts are so cheap that you can tear it like the Hulk Hogan tears his shirts? Because y'all know the shirts that Hulk Hogan wore were already like, they were tear-away shirts. Like they were made to be torn, you know what I'm saying, very easily. So that made me think. And it just, if you look at it, these people, now there are really people that are really highly triggered. I'm not downplaying the level of triggerness or triggerdom that people are experiencing. I'm just saying what they're putting on blast, what they're showing over and over again on all these platforms. I'm like, it's almost like TikTok. It's almost like TikTok wanted that shit to be viral and be spread out there. Now we know influencers are paid by politicians. We know that. Some of these influencers talked about it last year when Biden was still going to be running, right? They were talking about how they would come to them and pay them so much money to support them, right? So it wouldn't put it past me. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do the same thing, right? To spread this type of, this fear, right? To get this fear-based reaction from the masses, right? They want everybody to be afraid of the Donald Trump presidency, right? The Donald Trump presidency is to be feared. They want you to be afraid. They want you to think that he's going to do all these things that, you know, I don't know, right? Because when he was president before, they thought he was going to do the same shit they're saying he's going to do now. But he didn't do a lot of that shit, right? A lot of it, he didn't really do shit, really. Not very much. I liked how he did the trade agreements. I like how he put the tariffs on China and all that other shit so that we wouldn't spend so much money or of our own money on bullshit. I loved how he pulled money out of the World Health Organization and NATO and all that other shit, which is what, okay, cool, right? Interest rates came down. Yeah, a lot of great things happened during his presidency, but these are things that they wanted to happen to kind of quell us, right? They always got to bring us through these peaks and valleys of emotions as they continue their tyrannical campaign against us, right? They have to take you through these peaks and valleys, and they have to keep this false dichotomy going. They have to keep the false left-right paradigm going in order to sustain their power hold over you. I hope I know some of you guys, right? You're probably new to my channel. You don't know that I'm an anarchist. I'm not a Republican, right? I am an anarchist, which means no rulers. I don't believe in presidents. I don't believe in none of that shit. But I do live in this system. I do participate, in this system. It is what it is. This is what I have to do right now until the point comes where I am in a much freer state of existence. But as of right now, hey, it is what it is. But I understand that. I am self-aware. But the bottom line is, what I also understand is that when they want certain shit to happen during a cycle, they put certain figureheads in place so that it makes sense that those things happen. Does that make sense? Right? So they wanted to flood the country with immigrants for whatever purpose. That purpose might not have been realized yet. The purpose for these immigrants coming over here, these tens and tens of millions of people that we have not vetted, we don't know what the fuck they're going to do here. We have no idea what they're going to do. They had to have that happen. That is part of the agenda. This is my opinion, of course. Pure speculation based on patterns and connecting dots and just common sense. Common sense tells me that they wanted these people in this country. They wanted to flood the country with all these immigrants, right? And they wanted to make a path for them to do so. And they wanted to give them free shit. They wanted to foment hatred. They wanted to foment hatred in the people that in the citizens, that so-called citizens, and they wanted to bring these people here in order to push some agenda. I have no idea what it is, but I do have speculation. I do have some ideas of what it might be, right? I've said before, that if there are certain events that occur because of these people, this is what they want, so that they can then come in and do what they want to do. As a matter of fact, I did a video the other day, or a live stream a couple days ago, where I talked about how in New York, the people of New York, in Brooklyn, not in Brooklyn, in Queens, New York, Jackson Heights, Queens, New York, are calling for the National Guard to take to the streets to get rid of immigrants. They're basically calling for martial law in their own cities. That's what these people in New York are doing, because they're not doing anything about the crime that these immigrants are causing and are doing. So they say, hey, bring the National Guard here. Yeah. Initiate martial law, do what you got to do, get these motherfuckers out of here. This is the reaction they want. This is what reaction they want worldwide. And again, if something happens, something major, right? Something major, something that involves the T word, terror, something, right? If something happens, whether it's, who knows, right? But there are enough motherfuckers in here, right? They have flooded the country with enough of these motherfuckers that if you go with the law of averages and the law of probability, with the amount of people they allowed into this country and have allowed to spread across the country, not only did they allow them in here, but they bust them to different states. They flew them to different states for free. They've done all these things for over 3 years before they finally say, oh, you know what? Yeah, we can actually, close the border a little bit. We can actually stem the flow. So that they got what they wanted, right? They got all these people in here for whatever reason. And in order for that to happen, in order for that to make sense, that could not have happened under a Donald Trump. It could not have happened under a Donald Trump. But it makes sense for it to happen under a Joe Biden. It makes sense for a Joe Biden to be in office and to make Camel Toe Harris the border czar, right? Because we knew before, even before she became vice president, when she ran against Joe Biden in the primary, we knew that she was incompetent. She was incompetent and nobody liked her, right? Well, guess what? They made her the border czar and all these motherfuckers came in here. That would not make sense under a Trump-Pence administration. It would not make sense because Trump was talking about closing the wall and not allowing motherfuckers to come through here. And when he was president, guess what? That's what happened. And if you go back before that, Obama deported the most motherfuckers of any other president. They called him deporter in chief. You see what I'm saying? So now, during the Trump administration, everybody wanted to be pro-immigrant, especially the Democrats, of course, because of course there has to be the left-right battle and the Democrat versus Republican battle. And then when Biden becomes president, guess what? It makes sense for all these motherfuckers to come over here because he's a Democrat. And Camel Toe Harris called herself the most liberal senator, right? When she was a senator, she called herself the most liberal or the most progressive, whatever the fuck she said, the most liberal senator, the most progressive senator of any other senator. So it made sense that would happen under Camel Toe Harris. Now, under Trump, they want certain things to happen. They probably know that the shit's not working, right? They can't. Okay, so they could not get us to accept that they let all these motherfuckers in here. The bottom line is this. Trump is president because they want certain things to happen, right? They want certain things to happen under a Trump administration, right? So there is what we want to happen, right? What you guys want to happen, and what's actually going to happen. And that's why I asked the question in the title: what's going to change? What's going to happen? Right? What is he going to do? And I don't know that much is going to change at all. Right? It's particularly because I know a lot of people wanted Trump to get in here so he can get rid of all the immigrants. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. He might get rid of maybe a few, maybe a 30, 40,000, maybe 100,000. But listen. 22 Ronin was good. Chris was good. I can't really read all the chat right now because I'm driving and I can't really focus. Robertson was good. Robertson Schultz was good. Dead Mike. But anyway, okay. Let me tell you why we might not get motherfuckers deported like we want. We already have certain counties, even in South Carolina. I think there was a county or two in South Carolina that are already saying they will not cooperate with ICE to get rid of immigrants, right? The state of New York, Kathy Hochul said, basically she declared war against Donald Trump. Basically, she said, don't come for us, Trump, because we're going to fight you at every turn, basically. We're going to resist all this shit. She basically said, oh yeah, we're going to fight Trump. We're going to fight against Trump to maintain our freedoms and to maintain our gun control, safety, this and that. Listen, New York ain't going to get rid of nobody. Good luck deporting motherfuckers that are in New York. This is the chat is looping, okay. What am I talking about? I'm talking about what is Trump going to do as president? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all don't get it? What is he going to do? What can he do? What will he do? Because I was talking about immigration. I was talking about these mass deportations that are supposed to occur. And I was saying that basically, in order for these mass deportations to occur like we want them to, the states, right? The local government, the local police departments and all that other shit, they're going to have to cooperate with ICE. And many of these sanctuary cities and counties and states have already made it clear that they will not cooperate. They do not want to get rid of these immigrants. They don't want to do it. They want them to stay. They want to use them as power tokens to further their agenda and, right, for other things that, you know, would bring about more control, more tyranny, right? So, yeah, we want him to go after illegal immigration. But there's a reason that for the first 3 years of the Biden, Camel Toe, Harris administration, they allowed all these people in here and bust them and flew them to all these sanctuary cities, right? They're going to hide within these cities and states. And these states are going to say, fuck you, Trump. We're not going to allow you to do this shit. Or we're not going to cooperate. We're not going to help you. It's going to make it very difficult for ICE to do their job. It's going to make it very difficult, right? Because they don't have the numbers. They don't have nearly the numbers they need, right? And so, and then you have to understand, a lot of these states and a lot of these cities gave these people IDs and made them basically made them legal, just like that, right? They've done shit like that. They've done shit like that in California, giving them free healthcare and all this type of shit. It's going to be it's going to be tough doing the mass deportation thing, right? It's going to be tough doing that. Now, let's talk about the Second Amendment. Is he going to strengthen the Second Amendment? Is he going to ensure that our rights to keep and bear arms are more protected than they've ever been? Because if you look at it, you got Donald Trump as president, right? And then you got the Senate. The Republicans have majority control. They have they have majority control over the Senate. Yeah, they have the Senate, and it looks like they're gonna have the House. So now that you have a Republican-controlled Senate, a Republican-controlled Congress, and you have a majority conservative Supreme Court, right? It should be no problem eradicating and repealing every single fucking gun control law that the federal government has initiated. What's to stop them, right? We talk about these freedoms, the right to keep bear arms shall not be infringed, right? That's what a lot of you know, these platforms talk about. A lot of these YouTubers, right? And mind you, a lot of these YouTubers help garner support. They help Trump like a motherfucker. So, what's to stop Donald Trump from just restoring our right to keep bear arms to the degree that it can never be infringed upon again? What's to stop Trump from doing that? Republican-controlled House, Republican-controlled Senate, right? And a majority conservative Supreme Court. What's to stop it? This guy has 4 years. He has 4 years. And if we don't look up in 4 years and there's no gun control law on the books, and he made it to where the states can't even create gun control laws, then is he what have we gained? What have we gained? If Trump does not restore every single gun right, of every individual, of every free individual, right? What are we doing? Why have we put so much faith in this guy? But I want you guys to remember. You remember that Las Vegas mass shooting? Right? That happened under, I think it was 2017. It was in Vegas. Trump was president. What did he say? And then the Marjorie Stone Douglas, that shooting happened. Remember that? And what did Donald Trump say when he sat at the table with these gun grabbers? What did he say? I like take the guns first, due process second. That's what he said with Marjorie Stone Douglas. Didn't he say that? I like take the guns first, due process second. And thanks to Donald Trump, what happened thanks to Donald Trump? It was a wave of red flag laws across this country unlike we have ever seen. He aided states. He aided and helped states with red flag laws. You could go to his administration website, and if you were interested in red flag laws for your state, he showed you how to do it. He encouraged red flag laws. Yeah. And don't forget red flag Dan Crenshaw, right? He used Dan Crenshaw to spread the whole red flag law bullshit and why it's so important, why we need it, right? That was Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, take the guns first, due process second. Donald Trump told his ATF to go around Congress, to go around the Senate. He said, fuck those guys. No, what I'm going to do is an executive action. Why are you in the fast lane? I'm going to initiate an executive action so that the ATF can ban bump stocks. Yeah, we're gonna ban bump stocks. Yeah, in response to the Las Vegas shooting. Yeah, that was Donald Trump. Donald Trump did that. He said, yeah, we're gonna get rid of these bump stocks. By the way, that was overturned years later. But that was Donald Trump. So why should we believe that Donald Trump would do any different in the next 4 years? Why would we believe that Donald Trump is going to restore our rights to keep bear arms when he was already here 4 years? Just like I said in the beginning, people are wilding out, they crazy, they're acting like damn idiots because Donald Trump became president, as though he was never president before. Well, the same logic can be applied to Trump supporters. Trump supporters who call themselves pro-2A, right? Pro-freedom. Well, he already demonstrated that he's not pro-2A. He already demonstrated that. So what makes you think that Donald Trump is going to do anything any different in the next 4 years? Right? What else is Donald Trump pro? Donald Trump is pro-civil asset forfeiture. Yeah, pro-civil asset forfeiture. That's when they can take your fucking money. They can take your assets. Even if only they suspect you have committed a crime. You don't even have to have committed a crime. They don't even have to charge you with anything. They don't even have to arrest you. No, they can take your motherfucking money. Let's say you get pulled over by the popo. This happened to somebody. This actually happened to somebody. Driving through Vegas. They were trying to buy some property. So what did they do? They went to their bank and they got all this cash because they wanted to buy the shit cash. They were driving through Vegas, had $100,000 of cash in his truck. The police pulled him over, found his cash and said, nah, man. Nah. You had to have committed a crime to get that money. Even though it was his own hard-earned money, and he had saved up over years and years and years of doing business, they took his money and they took his fucking truck. Civil asset forfeiture. They suspected he was committing a crime to get that money. He was an investigation. None of that shit. No. That was the first time they encountered this dude. They took his money, they took his truck. Yeah. Donald Trump is for that. Just so y'all know. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. He likes civil asset forfeiture. And what does he also like? He likes qualified immunity for the pigs. For the popo. Yes, now I know a lot of y'all like that. A lot of y'all love the popo. Y'all love, oh yeah, qualified immunity up the ass for them motherfuckers, right? Yeah. Yeah. Qualified immunity, he loves that shit. He wants to expand qualified immunity for the popo. Why would they need more qualified immunity? Why are we trying to alleviate any responsibility from police officers? Why would we want to not hold them accountable for their actions? And you know, this is not about, oh, police are killing black people and this. No. Because this is the fucking reality that I want you guys to understand. This is the reality what I want y'all to understand. Y'all think that the real problem, see, you don't think it's a problem because you think black folks don't like cops because they kill a bunch of unarmed black people. Now, a lot of black folks don't like cops for that reason. But if you think that that their demented psychotic behavior is limited to black folks, or if you think that they aren't psychotic, and if you think they aren't crazy, a lot of them are, I want you to understand what y'all are doing. Y'all are giving all this power to an individual, and they take that power and they feel like it's imbued in their badge. So they got a badge and a gun. I have this imbued power because I have a badge and a gun and I swore in. Well, what happened when you swore in? What did you swear in on? Your hand was on the Bible, right? Oh yeah, and you swore to uphold and protect the Constitution. But you're not doing that. You're violating the Constitution every time you're out in the fucking streets. And these are the individuals we want to give expanded qualified immunity to. Can you imagine that? So if you think, like I said, that if a police officer gets a wild hair up his ass because his wife pissed him off, and by the way, the number one group of domestic abusers in this country are police officers. Just so y'all know that. So, this cop, he got his wife pissed him off, his kid pissed him off, and now he has to go on patrol, and he's just mad at the world. He's fucking pissed. Well, you think that if he pulls you over and he thinks you're being an asshole, that he won't take that out on you? Knowing that he's protected by expanded qualified immunity? They already got qualified. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I'm gonna have to back out and come back in because you guys probably can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Okay, you hear me? Okay, for sure. Usually when I get phone calls, the sound goes out. But the bottom line is, Donald Trump wants to expand qualified immunity. And really, in reality, I want y'all to just take a step back. I know a lot of people, especially Trump supporters, y'all love cops. I want y'all to take a step back and think about accountability. Don't think about what you think black people hate cops for. Think about somebody that has a gun and a badge and a bulletproof vest and they abuse their power. Think about that. Think about someone abusing their power, right? They abuse their power and they feel that like they're protected because they have qualified immunity, and they have been trained to treat the people that live within the community that they're patrolling as the enemy. They're trained that way. They have the mentality that they have an us against them mentality. That's what police officers have. I know. Yeah. The Supreme Court already said that they do not have the right to. They don't have the duty to serve and protect the people. That's not what their job is. So after that, they really were like, "Oh yeah, well fuck it." So I want y'all to understand, this is about accountability. Donald Trump does not want police officers to be held accountable for their actions if they fuck up. You don't think that's going to embolden cops to act out and do some crazy shit? You don't think that they're going to feel protected? Oh, I can do whatever fuck I want now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can talk to anybody any way I want. I can do anything I want to anybody. And no one's going to do anything about it. You don't think that that's going to get to some of these cops' heads? Y'all don't think that? Because they're human beings. But at the end of the day, police officers are human beings. They're humans. They breathe the same air we breathe. They bleed the same, not the same blood. They bleed blood just like us. They're human beings. They're flawed, right? They're not infallible. They're flawed human beings. But what they do have, because of the level of power they have, they should be held more accountable than the people that aren't cops. Why? Because they're supposed to uphold the law, they're supposed to protect the Constitution, they're supposed to do all these things, right? They're supposed to be the ones that we look to as heroes here protecting us. They have a gun and a badge. They can freely roam around. They can drive around. They can pull you over at their discretion. By the way, it's at their discretion, right? If they see you speeding, they don't have to pull you over. It's at their discretion. They can pull you over. But if they see you're speeding but you're not being reckless, they can say, hey, I don't want to deal with this shit today. Now, but they're humans. They should be, they're humans, but they're in a position where they're in a position of power. So when you're in a position of power and you hold that power over other people, you should be held to a higher standard. Police officers should be held to a higher standard. They should be less protected by the law when they do some crazy shit. Do y'all understand that if a police officer kills somebody, there has to be an investigation? Of course. But they're not going to get arrested while they're on duty. If they kill somebody and they are on duty, they do not get arrested. But we do. Well, you're saying, well, how, that don't make sense. How is it that should a cop get arrested when they're on duty and they kill somebody in line of duty? Yes. Why not? Why not? What? They kill somebody. Now, it depends on the circumstance. Now, if it's known that, okay, they were in a shootout, somebody shot at them, blah, blah, blah. But if under certain circumstances, yeah, they should be arrested. They should be like anybody else. Why should they not be arrested? So, let's say they pull somebody over and that person gets a little agitated. They get an attitude, and then, the cop agitates them and pulls them out of the car, does some silly shit because they aggravated, and they get into it. Now, what I see is going on now is mutual combat. So if you pull somebody over for speeding, that is not a criminal offense. That is a traffic infraction. That is an infraction. It's not a crime, right? So you pull over somebody for speeding, you're not even allowed to go through their car. You're give them the fucking ticket, have them sign it, whatever the fuck, and go on about your day. That's how it's supposed to work, right? But you pull this guy over for speeding, and that's all he did, nothing else. And you go to his car, you don't like the way he looks. He cops an attitude with you because he don't want to be bothered with you today, because you let 3 other cars speed by, and you pulled me over for what? I'm going with the flow of traffic. Why are you pulling me over? He got an attitude, so you decide to get attitude. And he raises his voice, you raise your voice, and you tell him to get out the fucking car. Why you tell him to get out the car? For what reason? Why should you get out the car now? You put him over for speeding. So now, because I piss you off. You get to have me get out of my own fucking car and chastise me and accost me for what? Give me my ticket and let me go. The fuck? But because you're a cop, oh well, I can violate your rights to privacy. I can violate your rights to mind your own fucking business. I can violate your right to spend your time the way you want to spend your time. No, I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna accost you and chastise you. I'm gonna force you to have a conversation with me. I'm gonna force you to interact with me, and then I'm gonna put my hands on you because I don't like. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. The guy is reasonably and understandably frustrated, and he ain't trying to have your shit today. Because why? Because he's a human being and you're a fucking human being, right? You came out your fucking mind, right? You jumped out of your fucking head and made me get out the car. I'm not allowed to get out my fucking head because you did that. Oh well, you have a badge and a gun, so I'm just supposed to kowtow and kiss your ass, right? That's how it's supposed to work. So maybe you were grabbing me or grabbing the guy and he pushed you off of him, so you decided to pull out your gun and kill him. Should you be arrested? Should you be under arrest for that? And everything's on traffic on the dash cam. You got a body cam on, all that shit. We know how the interaction went, right? We know you pulled him over for a traffic violation. And when we asked you, well, why'd you pull him out of his car? Oh, well, he was getting aggressive. I feared for my life. Well, what? Well, on the body cam, it looked like he just had an attitude, didn't want to be bothered with you, and so, you know, he didn't kiss your ass, so you put him out of the car. Should that person be arrested or not? No, that motherfucker should need to be placed under arrest like anybody would. You don't have a right to violate somebody like that, right? You don't have the right to do it under any circumstance. Where if they're driving and minding their own business, they're not hurting anybody, they're not doing anything to anybody else. They might be driving faster than you want them to, but they're not hurting anybody. You don't have a right to pull them over. You don't have a right to do any of that, let alone kill them because they got a fucking attitude. So yeah, that cop should be placed under arrest. They should be held at a higher standard. And I guarantee you, if they were held at that higher standard, if there was no qualified immunity, if there was none of that, we would have a lot more competent and a lot more, safe individuals on the street that are cops. We would have more courteous cops. We would have, less psychopathic cops, right? If they were held accountable. But Trump wants to expand their protections. He wants to expand their protections. He wants to expand their qualified immunity. Why do cops need any more protection than they got? You know what a cop has that you don't when you're out there on the road? Let's say you get into an encounter with somebody on the road and you both are not fucking cops. Do you have the luxury of getting on the radio and saying, oh, I need backup, I need backup. Oh, I need backup. I need 12 by 12, this, that, and the third. Oh, 10, 11, whatever the fuck. I forgot what the code was for emergency. Yeah, I need help. Yeah. Y'all got that? Put a 1 in the chat. If you got into a road rage encounter with somebody on the road and they were trying to sideswipe you and run you off the road, are you able to get on the radio and call somebody that's going to be like 3 minutes away with firearms that can just roll up, run that motherfucker off the road and kill them and save your life? Do you guys have that? Put a 1 in the chat if you can do that. Put a 1 in the chat if you can do that and have the same protections as a cop would if you did that shit. Why is it that they need any more protection than they got? Okay, so you're a cop. You're out there on the road. You might be dealing with dangerous people. And you're doing your job. And somebody might try to kill you. Okay, so you can call for backup. No problem. you have backup. Now you have protection. You have a level of protection that no one else has. Cops don't even protect citizens from other people that are trying to create victims of them like that. No, they show up after the fact. Yeah. Try to call in certain areas. Try to call the police when you're being attacked. You see how long it takes them to get there. Versus a cop calling for help. They'll get there in 30 seconds. You don't think so? Who out there has that level of protection out there when they're out there in the real world, outside of a cop? So with all these advantages and protections and powers they have, why do they need qualified immunity? Why do they need why do they need expanded qualified immunity? And I hear also he's trying to make it to where they don't have to have dash cams and body cams no more. Why are you trying to take away dash cams and body cams from the popo? Why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to make it to where they don't have dash cams and body cams? Somebody told me that. And I was like, well, think about this. That shit worked both ways. I hope they're really thinking about it. Because that shit worked both ways, bro, right? Because the camera, the video, right? The video footage that the camera takes. Well, guess what? It works for you too, cop, right? But if you ain't got no dash cam and you pull somebody over and the public, the people, the citizenry, they understand, hey, cops ain't got dash cams no more. They ain't got dash cams no more. That means if we want to wild out, hey, we can do that. And there will be no camera footage. So if somebody wanted to fight back against the cop, right? If they got pulled over, they didn't want to be bothered, they're a fucking criminal, right? They're a psycho, and they're like, man, these motherfuckers ain't got no dash cam. They ain't got no body cam. The first thing I'm going to do when he pull up, when he roll up to my door is, you know what I'm saying? Is crack something. First thing I'm going to do when he pull up to the door, I'm going to crack something and I'm going to drive off. What is the cop going to do at that point? Oh, you ain't got no dash cam? You ain't got no body cam? Oh, you assed out then, Pippin. Why? We don't have any footage. You're dead. You're not gonna get no justice because Donald Trump wanted to take away body cams and motherfucking video and traffic and dash cams. That what are we talking about? That works both ways, y'all. It works both ways. So not only will the dash cam not record the cop's actions, it also will not record the person the cop is fucking with actions. So let's say, that would really work for somebody who stole a car, right? You run their plates. Well, the car's not going to be registered to them. So you're not going to be able to get to them that way. So even if the cop calls in the license plate, right? And it pulls up, hell, and they stole that car, that ain't going to help you find the motherfucker if they kill you. If they kill you, they are not going to have an easy time finding the person that killed you because you ran a license plate. Because the license plate, the car's not registered to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, works both ways. But the bottom line is this: why would you want to give street pirates unfettered power over street level individuals? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to give anybody that level of power with zero accountability? Everyone needs to be held accountable for their actions, right? But that's not what we want. So what's going to change? Is he going to restore Second Amendment rights? Is he going to deport tens of millions of people? Is that going to change? What is going to happen? Right? What is Trump going to do in the next 4 years? Yes, you might. They're already talking about. As a matter of fact, I just got an alert. from this news app that I use, talking about the Feds dropped interest rates already after Trump was announced president. Yeah, you might save some more money. You might even earn more money. Hell, we might be in a surplus by the end of the fucking 40. No, that ain't gonna happen. We're way too far in debt. We're hundreds of trillions of dollars in debt. That ain't gonna happen. But what the bottom line is, we might have been very prosperous economically. But that's just surface level shit. What about the shit that we really need to happen? Right? Is he going to abolish the IRS? Is Trump going to abolish the IRS? Is he going to get rid of the Federal Reserve and repeal the Federal Reserve Act of 1913? Is he going to get us back on the gold standard? He might do things like stop funding NATO, stop funding the World Health Organization. Yeah, those are good things. He might stop doing that type of shit. He might stop the Ukraine versus motherfucking Russian war. He might put Israel back in their fucking place. He might do all that shit. But at the end of the day, are gun rights going to be restored? Is he really going to end income tax? Is he really going to do that? Is he going to abolish the IRS? And is he going to make it to where no state can collect income taxes from his people? Because he can do that with the supremacy clause. Yeah. Because collecting income tax does not fall under the Bill of Rights. Right? And we know what that 10th Amendment says, right? About the state rights. I wouldn't consider it a state right to extort you every time you get a paycheck. I wouldn't consider that a state right. So, in reality, he could ensure that no state can collect income taxes, right? There are ways to do this shit. He can do it, but is he going to? Is he really going to bring us any step closer to freedom? He wants to make America great again. What about making America free for once? How about that? How about making America free for once? Yeah, make America great again. That sounds, yeah, that's a cool little tagline, but I like make America free for once. How about that? Huh? Mayfo, goddammit. So that's what I'm about. And the first 4 years Donald Trump had in office, as we should not forget, he was here for 4 years before, he did not do those things. He further infringed on gun rights. He further infringed. Right? That's what he did. He did that. And he brought about Operation Warp Speed. Y'all remember Operation Warp Speed? Remember all that money we spent on Operation Warp Speed? That he signed into law that would further extort the people? Y'all remember what y'all remember that? What happened with Operation Warp Speed? Y'all remember what happened there? With the hokey pokey, the jab? Remember that? How worthless was that, huh? How much money did we waste spending? How much money do we waste on Pfizer, Moderna, and all that bullshit for these things? Thanks to Donald Trump. Oh yeah, wasted trillions of dollars in taxpayer dollars. Remember he said he never signed anything with a T before? Yeah, that was Donald Trump. Yeah. The thing that they used to put a mandate on you in order to keep your job, to stay in the military. Remember that shit? Remember those mandates? Yeah. That was only brought about because Donald Trump's Operation Warp Speed. I just want y'all to understand what the realities are now that Trump is president again. Remember the reality. Y'all want to remember all the flowers and the bees and the helicopter in the goddamn motherfucking butterflies. Y'all want to remember all the sweet shit that he did, but y'all don't want to think about the shit that he did that was trash, and the shit that he's talking about doing now that's trash, like more qualified immunity for the motherfucking cops. What the fuck are we talking about? And what is that going to look like? That's my biggest concern. Now that he has the Republicans in the House and the Senate, he has control of the House and the Senate, right? See, what are we thinking about? Y'all really want cops to not be held accountable? I want y'all to think about that. Just really think about what that would look like if these individuals that are just like you and me, if they were not going to be held accountable for their actions as long as they were in that uniform. I want y'all to think about the bump stock bans. I want y'all to think about qualified civil asset forfeiture. I want y'all to think about take the guns first and due process second. I want y'all to think about the proliferation of red flag laws that led to the deaths of many individuals. Y'all remember how many people got hit with that red flag law bullshit in Florida when they implemented it after the Marjorie Stone Douglas shit that Trump encouraged? Thousands of people, rights violated within a week of those laws being passed in Florida. We love Florida. Florida's such a free state, right? Remember that? Oh yeah. Don't think I forgot that Florida was one of the first states to initiate red flag laws after Donald Trump said take the guns first, due process second. Yes, many other states already had some form of a red flag law, but after, like even California, but only a judge and a court-appointed psychiatrist in California were able to initiate red flag laws against you through a court order. But now, because of Trump, right? Because he encouraged this shit, now a teacher, a neighbor, a motherfucking gerbil, right? A goddamn Charizard motherfucking Pokemon can motherfucking get you hit up with a red flag law. Thanks to Donald Trump, yeah. Y'all need to remember this shit, because what changed from then to now that would have him all of a sudden be a champion for gun rights? Can anybody, I know I can't read y'all's shit right now. I can't read it. I can't read your chats. But somebody help me. Do me a favor. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Donald Trump is pro gun right. If you think that he's really going to expand your gun rights in the next 4 years, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't believe that Donald Trump changed his fucking mind. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that Donald Trump is going to be more of the same, right? Some goddamn mass shooting is going to happen, and they're going to crawl all up in his ass. Oh, Trump, you got to do something, like they did with the Marjorie Stone Douglas in the Vegas shooting. And then he's going to be like, oh, I like to take the guns. See, I see a few ones. Okay, y'all think that he's actually going to protect our gun rights? Okay. All right, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. What changed? What changed from 2019 to now? What changed? What changed? What changed in Trump? What made him want to change his mind and say, you know what? I'm actually going to be a pro 2A now. I'm actually going to be pro gun right. Please help me understand this, because I don't really think that he's going to do that, y'all. I don't think he's going to do it. This is what I think is going to happen in the next 4 years, right? Interest rates going to go down. Inflation is probably gonna go down. All this other shit. Price of goods and services might go down a little bit. Gas prices gonna go down. Little shit like that, right? Yeah, it's important shit, but you know, what I think is gonna happen is I think that they're gonna give the cops expanded qualified immunity, and I think that they might even have to declare martial law in certain states that have, the sanctuary states. He might have to do the Insurrection Act. He might have to activate the Insurrection Act. Insurrection Act. In order to combat the immigrant crisis. And what that's going to do is that is going to allow him, right? Now don't forget DOD directive, right? The DOD directive that allowed for the military to use lethal force while assisting law enforcement. So now that's in place, right? But he can initiate the Insurrection Act, which will put boots on the ground, right? Troops on the ground in the United States, to the point where they're going to be patrolling, they're going to be riding around, they're going to be doing this, that, and the third. And it's going to be under the auspices of stemming the migrant crisis, right? Doing something about that. But what that's going to do is going to condition us to get used to seeing U.S. troops all up and through our neighborhoods, all up in our business. And we ain't gonna say shit about it. Why? Because, well, they're here because of the migrant crisis. They're helping us, right? Hell, even the troops might believe that. The troops themselves. Because I tell you, when I was in the military, I was the last motherfucker to know anything about what we was doing. So, that is a high possibility in my mind. In my mind, that is something that's very plausible. It's extremely plausible that he uses the Insurrection Act, right, or something, in order to deal with the migrant crisis. That's what might happen. And he's going to give the police more power, right? He's going to give them more qualified immunity and more expanded protections. Yeah. And he ain't gonna do shit for gun rights. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think that even with the majority of Republicans in the Senate and the House, there's going to be some type of, because I want y'all to understand this. Don't forget that in the Senate, unless you have a 60-40 majority, they can filibuster the shit out of anything that you bring to the floor. So if you bring anything to the floor for the Senate, some things are done by a simple majority, but this will not be. Right? They will filibuster the shit out of that shit. Unless the Republicans have 60 seats in the Senate. If they don't have 60 seats, well, all a Democrat is going to do is filibuster. And don't forget these rhinos that y'all keep talking about, right? Republicans in name only. They exist. They're in the Senate too. They're going to be in the Senate and in the House. They're going to filibuster. You're going to have guys like Mitch Romney saying, "Oh, I don't know if we should do this blah, blah, blah." You're going to have that type of shit going on. Trust and believe. Trust and believe that they will stall this shit out. Anything that they introduce that would expand gun rights is going to get stalled. It's going to get stalled in the Senate. Might pass the House, but in the Senate it's going to get stalled because they're not going to have a 10-seat majority, or a 60-seat majority. They're not going to have it. They're not going to have 60 motherfuckers. They're not going to have that. It's just not. They're not. They don't have it. They got what? 54, 52 seats, something like that. What is it? 52, 40. Well, it's 52, 43, and 5, I believe. There's like 5 seats that belong to other parties, something like that. they don't have enough of a majority. They don't have a super majority. So they're not just going to be able to pass every single gun law. I just hope y'all understand that. I want to mitigate your expectations because y'all putting a lot of faith in this man. All right, y'all putting a lot of faith in this dude, and that's really, at the end of the day, that's really a dangerous thing, right? We should be putting more faith in ourselves, in our own ability to do what we want to do and be okay. We should not look to a Donald Trump to live our lives to the fullest, right? We should not be relying on the government or anything like that to make sure that we are free and our rights are protected. No, it's not how that works. The government is not here to protect your rights. They're here to infringe on your rights. And Donald Trump, at the end of the day, is part of that fucking government. What are y'all thinking? Right? It's just what it is. That's like, come on now. We should be more, look, the faith that y'all put in this system is wild, right? When y'all know it's fucked up. Y'all know the system is fucked up, but y'all continue to put faith in it. I don't understand it. It's just like, it's like, it's the worst case of Stockholm Syndrome I've ever seen. And I just want us to understand what we're doing, right? Yes, Trump is president. Yes, he said he's going to protect 2A rights. Yes, he said he's going to do this, said he's going to do that. But Kamala Harris said that she was going to do that. She sat up there and told somebody in an interview that Donald Trump was going to go after your Second Amendment rights. She said that out of her own mouth. And you know what? She just might be right. She just might be right. But at the very, at best, he may not do shit for gun rights. At worst, yeah, something's gonna happen, mass shinged or two, maybe something even more devastating than that, maybe a T attack. I don't know. I don't want these things to happen. But you have to look at the possibilities and shit. A T attack happens. Listen, let me tell y'all something, man. The thing is, we need to just start to think about how we can be self-sufficient and self-sustaining, and because ultimately, at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own life. You are responsible for your own safety. You're responsible for feeding yourself. You're responsible for getting up and going to work. You do all those things on your own without government, right? The government did not help you get your job. The government did not get you out of bed. The government did not motivate you to live your fucking life and go out and make something of yourself. That was intrinsic. That was something that you wanted to do, whether you're motivated by just, making it through the day, or whether you're motivated by your family. You have children and a wife, and you want to make sure that, you take care of them. Whatever motivates you, it's not the fucking government. You're not saying, oh, man, I love my government. Let me get up and go to work for these motherfuckers. I love it. I love going to work. I just love bringing home the bacon to my government daddy. I love G-Daddy. G-Daddy is so great. I'm going to go to work. Man, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to bust my ass so G-Daddy can continue to. No one does that. No one does that. None of you motherfuckers got up this morning and said, you know what? Let me go make Trump proud. Let me go make my government proud. No, you got up today and you lived your fucking life. You got up, you brushed your teeth. You fucked your wife, or you fucked your husband, or and you ate some breakfast. You did all those things because, hey, I need to wake up. I need some fresh breath. Then I need to beat some guts in, and then I need to eat. Right? And in order for you to be able to do those things, you have to be in a space where you're secure, right? Where you're secure, you have security and you have provision, right? Without security and provision, you ain't getting no pussy, right? And you ain't getting pussy from the government. You're getting pussy from your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever. And then you need to eat because you need the energy to go to work to provide for who? Your motherfucking self and your family. You're not going to work to provide for Donald Trump and goddamn motherfucking the government. So why are you so concerned? And why are you so in love with this government? Why do we need to continue to perpetuate this system that does nothing but cause destruction, disruption, right? Division. That's all government does. Destroy, divide, and redistribute your motherfucking money. You're going to work for yourself to provide for yourself and your family. But every time you get your check, you missing a few $100s. Wait, where's that going? FICA? What is a FICA? Social Security? Wait, you mean the shit that's not going to be around by 2030? You mean that? Why am I still putting money into this shit? Why am I still putting money into Social Security when it's not going to, I'm not going to be able to collect it? So why am I still putting money in here? Why are they still taking my money? You are giving they're taking your money. You're going to work and they're taking your money because you went to work. For the privilege of working? What? Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand the mentality of what y'all, what is wrong with y'all? I mean, what's wrong with me? Because I do it too. I still go to work and I still get money to extort it out of my paycheck every week. And if they don't take enough at the end of the year, oh well, you owe them more money. And if you're lucky, if you didn't make a whole lot of money, oh yeah, you're gonna get some money back, but not nearly as much as they made from the money that they took from you, right? Because they collecting the interest. Do y'all get what I'm saying? What has government done for you to go to work for them? Because that's what y'all doing. Y'all getting up, y'all going to work so that the government can collect money out of your paycheck. Why? For what? So they can send it to Pakistan for gender studies? So they can send billions and billions of dollars to Israel and Ukraine for their forever war campaign? To give to the World Health Organization? To give to NATO? Why are we... What? This is what we're going to work for. This is what we're doing. And if we decide, oh, well, you know, I'm going to file exempt for 6 months. Because I need to keep as much money as I can. Or if you make so much money, oh, you made too much money this year, man. I got to take more money from you. Oh, what? So we didn't take enough out of your paycheck. So at the end of the year, oh, we got to take more because, yeah, you made too much money. What kind of bullshit is that? What kind of bullshit is that? That I got to give you more money because I made more money. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Are we serious right now? Oh yeah, you made over 100,000. Yeah, you in a higher bracket. What does that mean? Oh yeah, that means we take more of your money. Well, what would have happened if I didn't earn in this higher bracket? What would have happened? Well, we would have took less money. So what the fuck is the difference to them? What's the difference? Huh? Did they help me earn more money? Did they help me get a raise? Did they help me get my job? What did the government do for me? Oh, well, you know, they built the roads that you drive to get to work. Oh, really? Word? No, the government did build the road. Just so y'all know that. I want y'all to understand that the government does not create and the government does not build. They cannot. The government cannot create. The government cannot build. It's impossible. Right? It's impossible. What the government does is they hire a private contractor to do the building. But where do they get the money from? They get the money from the people. So guess what? In reality, we hired the private contractor to build the roads. We hired the private contractor to build the hospital and the school. Yeah. We paid the city inspector to make sure the shit's being built right. We paid this. We paid everything that went into it. We paid for it. We paid for it. The government is just a middleman, right? They take your money They get their big ass cut, and then they pay whoever they need to pay to make whatever they need to happen. That's how government works. The government is the middleman that just takes money from the top to enrich themselves and enrich their buddies and enrich the corporate welfare recipients. That's who they enrich. They enrich these motherfuckers. So we get up and go to work and we pay sales tax, we pay income tax, we pay property tax, we pay business tax, we pay payroll tax, all this shit. From the product of our labor and energies, right? That's what we do. And at the end of the day, the government did not help us, even if you got a government job. The government gave you the job just like any other private company, right? They didn't say, hey, come get a job, y'all. Come get a free job. You don't have to interview. You don't have to take a test. You don't have to do none of that shit. You had to work to get a government job. Right? Man, this shit's wild. Anyway, I'm done, man. I'm done. I think I made my point. Yeah, y'all happy Trump is president. But we'll see what happens in the next 4 years, right? They have him. Now, look. We got a couple months till January 20th. Right? We got like what? Yeah, we got over 2 months. So we got 2 months and 2 months and 13 days. 2 months and 13 days before Trump becomes inaugurated and all this, that, and the third, and he becomes president. Biden initiated over 100 executive actions within 100 days. How many is Trump going to do to make sure you're a freer person tomorrow? I mean, in 100 days, are you going to be any more free? Is he going to initiate executive actions in order to restore gun rights? Get rid of the IRS, repeal the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. Is he going to do any of that type of shit in 100 days? Because Joe Biden did a lot of shit in 100 days. Oh yeah. Anyway, y'all, I just want y'all to sit on that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think about that, and we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. We'll see what's gonna happen, man. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. Thanks for hitting that like button or the downvote button. That's perfectly fine as well. I'm just a guy in a truck ranting. Anyway, peace out, guys. Much love. And if I did not shout you out, I'm driving. It's dark. It's just I can't really read the chat right now. So much love. Like, share, subscribe, and we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.